So these bodies, yeah, more respect for these bodies, for others' bodies, but for our own. So often in these practices, we'll be reminded of how we actually are going to offer more care to others than to ourselves. Sometimes, often, we can talk more nicely to others than we talk to ourselves. The things we say to others are often kinder than the things we whisper into our own ear. Yeah. Well, it's very much in the same ballpark, in the same territory as these bodies. Susan's been reminding us for the longest time that we've been educated out of our bodies, that we're disembodied in some ways, that we've really lost a certain kind of deep care and respect for our bodies. Yeah. Mm. And lately, just lately, really, we, both of us, have been considering this approach in this to our body. It's just a new, slightly different twist. Yeah. It's just seeing our bodies themselves as temples. What if the body were a temple? What if it really were a temple? What if I saw it in that light, held it in that light? And what does that mean? And Susan told this wonderful story. It really was one of these great, great coincidences. What, I'm gonna mention it again, but we took a Lyft. Lyft. I don't know if you're familiar with Lyft. It's Lyft and Uber. Basically, we don't have it. We haven't had a car for 8 years. We got rid of our car. Mostly we walk to the subway and take the subway when we're in town. It's a fairly long walk to the subway. And that's okay. We like walking and we like exercising. In fact, we were taking a Lyft to go to the gym downtown on a 95-degree day. And part of caring for our bodies was, yeah, we are going to go work out at the gym, but we're not going to walk a long way in 95-degree heat to and from the gym today. So let's take a Lyft. So that already was a consideration of respecting for the bodies, the limit of the bodies. But we get into the car and we said, yeah, oh yeah, you're going, I see you're going to the gym. I said, yeah, we're going to the gym. And he turns around and he goes, the body is a temple, isn't it? And yeah, and at first, I have to be honest, I thought there was going to be a connection to a little bit, maybe a little bit too much of some kind of a religious wrap that went with that, and that wasn't it at all. He's a very secular kind of guy. He said, you know what? It's unbelievable. He said, I'm finally waking up. I'm finally waking up to what's going on with this body and how I haven't treated it well my whole life. What's going on? What's going on with everybody? The data is all in now. The data is all in now. This is what he's talking about. He's all and really passionate about this. As if he just woke up. He said, the data is all in. I'm finally listening to the data. And then he told us about how he's going for the first time, really going to the gym regularly, changing his diet, lost weight, feeling all this kind of energy. He's less cranky. He's feeling more alive than ever before, but he's just respecting his body for the first time. For the first time. He's 40 years old and finding himself really turning that corner. And he's turned that corner a few months ago. So he's at least committed for a few months on this path and very excited about it. We thought, yeah, obviously we had a lively conversation with him about that. And he was definitely part of our Sangha of the moment, and yeah, so we talked a lot about diet and exercise and just respecting the body. And what is the association to a temple? What is your association to temple, to the word temple? I mean, most of us have been in a church at one point or another. That's the most obvious association we have. But what are the actual associations to it? What comes with that? What kind of thought or what kind of feeling comes with that? Not, when you're in a temple of any kind, and by the way, I've been in some places of nature that have felt like nature's temple. Have you been in a place like that where you walk in and what happens? First of all, the heart is there. First of all, it's a little quieter. There's something about respect. There's something about it's not messy. There's something about it's being taken care of. Whether it's simple or ornate, it's cared for. There's a sense of it being cared for. Huh. And it invites respect, doesn't it? When you walk into a temple, it invites respect, doesn't it? Yeah, of some kind, whatever your belief, it's separate from beliefs. It's inviting a kind of respect. Yeah. And I just this morning I looked up, why do they call this the temple on the body? Why? We know this is the temple. Interesting. It comes from the Latin, the word tempus, and then onto the Greek, and it means a vital spot. And I think of this as, well, that's a vital, there are a lot of vital spots in the body. I don't know why that one got the most vital, spot recognition. But I like thinking of the body as a vital spot, as a temple that is a vital spot. Where would we be without our body, without our bodies, right? It's vital. It's not inconsequential. It's not just, I speak for myself. For the longest time, I treated the body like a I don't know, something that was just supposed to serve my needs. Like I didn't treat it with I did not treat it well. Just didn't treat it well. Just expected it to be resilient, expected it to behave, expected it to show up when I needed it to show up. Yeah. Uh, and so it's really been a journey for me to begin to appreciate more this body and to respect it more. To see it as vital, to see it as vital. Yeah. And what does that mean? What does that mean for us? And I love this expression. You know, Einstein said, we can see everything as a miracle or nothing as a miracle. Well, maybe there's something in between. No, but I certainly see the body as a miracle. I do that a lot now. I do that a lot. I remind myself of it a lot. I remind myself sometimes when I'm just doing something like this and go, look at this. I can just do this with my hands when I'm speaking. It's like, that's amazing. It's all amazing. Every bit of it is amazing, right? If it's just we don't often reflect on that. The whole thing is amazing. And it's not under my control either. We're not beating our own hearts. Right? It's simply moving in that direction. And this may seem a little far afield from the precept of respecting and taking care of the body, but I don't think so. I think, first of all, we have to start seeing our bodies differently a little bit. In other words, just that much. You could say, oh, now that's a temple. That means I've got to do a whole bunch of things. And I'm not very good at doing those things, so I'm going to judge myself. I'm still not doing the things I'm supposed to do to see my body as a temple. Just start out, and I think Susan mentioned this on Monday. Just start out with, okay, what if it's a temple? Let that be enough for a little while. Just that perspective. Just that perspective is already a lot. Huh? And then the next time I'm careless with it, the next time I'm judging it, the next time I feel betrayed by it because it gets sick or it gets a little injury, the next time I'm upset with it because it doesn't have the kind of energy I think it should have, I might think, wait a second. Wait a second. what am I contributing to what's going on in the body? What am I doing to take care of it? Maybe it's all wound up and wired because I looked at the news at the wrong time and set all these stress chemicals rushing through my body. What does it actually mean? What does it begin to mean for all of us to see our bodies a little bit more as the temple that they actually are? What does it mean? What would it mean? What would it mean? And I see that as it's just a kind of ongoing inquiry, an ongoing inquiry as I move more into that space. We just practice moving more into that space. Yeah. And yeah, that's really the encouragement. See where it takes you. What we don't need is more judgment. The truth is, we haven't seen our bodies as temples, and we haven't trained to see our bodies in that way so far. So it's kind of a new thing. It's kind of a new thing. Maybe that word doesn't work for you. It just happens to work for us. Um, one thing you'll never find in a temple is garbage, right? For example. And yet, I've put garbage in this temple. What's going on with that one? There are a lot of bits there. Like, oh, what am I doing? Let me just pay a little bit more attention, just a little bit more attention to respect and care for this one body, for this one miraculous body that has served us so incredibly well. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Thank you for listening.